Peace be with you. Today I am going to explain the Gospel text and the first reading for the 18th Sunday of Ordinary Time, Year A. Let me first read the Gospel text from the Gospel of Matthew. Now when Jesus heard this, he withdrew from there in a boat to a lonely place. But when the crowds heard it, they followed him on foot from the towns. As he went ashore, he saw a great throng. He had compassion on them and healed their sick. When it was evening, the disciples came to him and said, "This is a lonely place, and the day is now over. Send the crowds away to the villages to buy food for themselves." Jesus said, "They need not go away. You give them something to eat." They said to him, "We have only 5 loaves here and 2 fish." And he said, "Bring them here to me." Then he ordered the crowds to sit down on the grass. And taking the 5 loaves and 2 fish, he looked up to heaven, blessed and broke, and gave the loaves to the disciples. And the disciples gave them to the crowds. And they all ate and were satisfied. And they took up 12 baskets full of the broken pieces left over. And those who ate were 5,000 men, besides women and children. My dear friends, this text is replete with references to the Old Testament. There is a reference to the prophet Isaiah, which I will explain later. That's our first reading for the Sunday. Then there is also a reference to the prophet Elisha, which I will explain again later. Remember Psalm 23, God, who is the shepherd, says, "I will take my sheep, my pasture, to green grass. I will give them a banquet." Exactly what it is in today's gospel. Jesus makes them sit down on green grass and gives them a banquet, abundance of food. Then we also find a reference to Moses. Moses gave them food to eat as they were traveling. Of course, it was God through Moses, but here now Jesus gives. So we see so much of reference to the Old Testament, but I'll pick up only 2, Isaiah and Elisha. First of all, on the surface level, when we read this gospel text, what comes across? That Jesus has divine power. That from 5 loaves, he can multiply. From 2 fish, he can multiply and feed how many? 5,000 men, without counting women and children. So each of them, if they had come with their wife and children, or even if half of them were married with their wives and children, if they had come, you know the crowd will be around 8,000-9,000. Such a big crowd Jesus fed with just 5 loaves and 2 fish. One point, and is the first point. Jesus is portrayed as a person greater than Elisha. How? Let me read first from the Old Testament about Elisha who worked a miracle. It's found in 2 Kings chapter 4 verses 42 to 44. Keep the miracle of Jesus in mind as I read this text. A man came from Baal Shalisha, bringing the man of God, that's Elisha, bread of the first fruits, 20 loaves of barley, and fresh ears of grain in his sack. And Elisha said, "Give to the men that they may eat." But the servant said, "How am I to set this before 100 men?" So Elisha repeated, "Give them to the men that they may eat. For thus says the Lord, they shall eat and have some left." So he set it before them, and they ate and had some left, according to the word of the Lord. Now, one doesn't need to be a biblical scholar to see the correlationship between what Elisha did and what Jesus has done. But there's a difference. Elisha takes 20 loaves, Jesus 5 loaves. Elisha feeds 100 men or 100 people. Jesus maybe 8,000, 9,000. Elisha, there is some left over. But with Jesus, 12 full of baskets, 12 basket full of leftover. So what does this show? That if Elisha is a great prophet, Jesus is greater. So Jesus is greater than Moses. Jesus is greater than David. Jesus is greater than Elisha. And that's the first point which I want to make. That Jesus is divine, not just greater than all of these Old Testament great figures. Let us now come to the first reading. Then we'll be able to see the relationship between the gospel text for the day and the first reading. I will read it out for you. From the book of Isaiah, chapter 55, verses 1 to 3. Everyone who thirsts, come to the waters. He who has no money, come, buy and eat. Come, buy wine and milk without money and without price. Why do you spend your money for that which is not bread, and your labor for that which does not satisfy you? Hearken to me and eat what is good. Delight yourself. Incline your ear and come to me, that your soul may live, and I will make with you an everlasting covenant, steadfast, sure love for David. This is a gospel text. This is the reading from the book of Isaiah, and it is the first reading for the coming Sunday. Let's understand this prophecy of Isaiah by putting the gospel text next to it. On the surface level, what do we understand? That God is calling his people and is saying there is no need of money. Just come and buy. Buy means you will get it free. And what will you get? Wine, milk. Now we know wine is expensive, milk is expensive. Even water is now expensive. But God is saying, come, I will give you expensive things to eat and drink, and you don't have to worry. You don't have to pay. But then God clarifies in the next verse what is really going to give for free. He says, why are you working so hard? Because you'll get money, you'll go and buy food, you'll eat, and you'll get hungry again. Rather, come and I will give you that food which will not make you hungry. Now we know what that food will mean because we have read the New Testament. So God is clarifying by saying, I am not going to give you food which will not satisfy you forever, which will satisfy you only for an hour or two. But I will give you another food. And what is that food? Supernatural food. Supernatural food. Spiritual food. And the final statement which God makes in today's reading is this: I will make with you an everlasting covenant. Now suddenly the context of God giving things to be eaten and drunk free, why this covenant comes in between? The word covenant now takes us back to the book of Leviticus and Exodus, when God made a covenant with the people of Israel. He established priesthood, and he told through Moses, of course, instructed the priests that they are to offer 12 loaves of bread and wine to God. And this is a sign of the covenant. What is a covenant? God and people are saying we belong to each other. That God is saying, I will be your groom, and people are his bride, and they are married to each other. That is a covenant. And a sign of that covenant is this bread and wine which will be offered to God. So now we understand that God is referring to the covenant because he's saying, I will give you plenty to eat. Come to this gospel text today. God is giving them in abundance to eat. But the words used by Matthew, he took the bread, broke it, blessed it, and gave it. When did Jesus do the same actions? At the Last Supper. And so this miracle takes us forward. So this miracle takes us back to the time of Elisha, to the prophecy of Isaiah, and it fast forwards to the Last Supper. Then Jesus takes the bread and he takes the wine, and when he takes the wine he says, this is my blood poured for your forgiveness of sins. In the prophecy of Isaiah, same words again. When the covenant will be made, death will be swallowed. And how will the death be swallowed? Forgiveness of sins. And Jesus says, this wine, blood, will be shed for your forgiveness. So, putting all this together, what does the gospel text say? It takes us back to Elisha and says, Jesus is greater than Elisha. It takes us to the prophecy of Isaiah and says, Jesus is the one who will give for free, in abundance. And again the word covenant tells us about the bread and wine. And it fast forwards to the Last Supper, when Jesus will give his body and blood after taking bread and wine. For what? So that our death will be swallowed in fulfillment of the prophecy of Isaiah, for our forgiveness of sins. That, my dear brothers and sisters, is the meaning of the text today. God bless you.